Akora ne ho to say. Madam from.
It's a young pardon where we are part.
They say I am a big well.
Boss lady back up.
Boss lady. But you're not too who is going to or no dear you have to take.
One. And you say, what's that? Because I now say,
we went through that. Wow, who said, about parents, as in your back, I shall no face a warner. As one catcher or no interest, any right. Now, oh, dear, right.
Some
You be in and I will say, hey, send Uncle Free and small opinion, and they were right.
when you have it.
Papa. Remember, I mean, was every time you are not as old being Yabeto. Well, I never meant to say that. You are being Yabeto. The many Yabeto day.
Any
Was being Yabeto, being Yabeto, Zadia. Yeah, I say, yeah, conquer, a bonquer. I said,
if you do it, I say, cry, material, one more order, or so okay. Of a cereal. By force, or send me back to them. Yeah, the move.
I didn't want Grandma. Wow, was soon told it in a so Grandma and son, I wait me a review of it.
That's a tron every day. That.
Anyway, more joy, my joining, any more joining with Facebook and YouTube, and one. You say, so many friends saying channels are streaming to. You see, we have like 7 Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, whatever, and then it'll be LinkedIn, which one? Twitch, Twitter, whatever. Bibiano, Ubia open, which you are call any of those channels, no, what here, if you Whitney, and not the here is one of them, Facebook or YouTube, and whatever, no, with me, alcohol, no alcohol tea. So, no, I'm an effect. The wood is so. No, actually, I'm done for such a done for saying, of who how one day one can some one can play. So, I say, yeah, and call her, yeah, and call yeah, say, because of windy near Dannon or near any say, Debbie. Yeah, you who run a you who ya yanka. So, I say, yeah, dear, near plain and simple. So, I didn't read a red, and yeah, red, and that's a black. Yanko, yanko, make sure color be a and walk out. Yanko, say orange, Debbie. Yes, I'm here. And so, would you had the upper hand of wood here, and some can I and some more. Yahoo, they also from reliable sources, maybe a Ebinia, ya catch him. Yanko country was a different thing, different thing, Yancho, yeah. And that. You better John Jerry Rollins asem kakra before say you call the other programs. I don't know maybe was we be discussed, but then Don and Unipa Epesi Ebonam you can know asem kakra. Me Menhu Rollins. Because time Rollins by name Krumha. Who just say man take anything about romance until say one day. We could tell newspaper, New York Times, on the full page ad, enemy who Jerry John Rollins. Full page. They say in the pages, and I don't know Unipakuna or Chro Sardian. And I don't know who this guy say, hey, there's a guy who Ghana no. Saturday, no say that news no one tell to say the name saying news no. won't take anything. They just be up to newspaper. Maybe I'll be small piece of the actual about country be. Only the bad things in the end you're betting. Something like Idi Amin. Oh, no, you have free church. Normal be brave church. Man, who anything be because of say near Ohana son. You say be a which raw letter. Maybe I can letter no idea about this particular person. It is what they me got to newspaper name whom Jerry John Rollins. In fact, many G say I had to go and buy some of the newspapers, send me the DC because now they want me to know about Rollins. Send you and a down for power because when you share that Troy, so as we will be New York at that time, so somewhere in the 80s, no baby. Only Bakunetro article praising John Rollins and telling us all about him. And another memory who said, this guy, I mean, he'd probably be a good guy. But I mean, not anything because war had no executions and all those things now went on in Ghana. No, Yanti. I never heard anything there. Yes, because not Yanti. Because those newspaper be anywhere or better report to Sadia no. Kruma. Yeah, report to anything be about Ghana. So can't anything be about Ukrum Ghana. The only thing I want to about to say be so bad like that Quran flies then I'm no near the child now a friend saying uncle phone call saying Red Cross for no one they about donations they come out Africa for any uncle for a tutus car. It's kind of very cry Vanco. They move 10 cents near their command. See GG millions of dollars in their brim. That's it. That's why who names are there because a donations be the aqua be hey, yes,
camp.
Oh, yeah, made them donate to these people know that. I've never done that. Because it's always a scam. Be a home by say every day you donate to Haiti project. You who they go see. What is going on with Haiti? You can't back be a 1 year and 1 say Michael Jackson a year African Life Aid Emma Bono I think said that one the guy did a good job. Bono, he did a good job by trying to help. Now Red Cross and other people now want Canada. There be a Red Cross for a donating no man to the Red Cross. But meaning who anything be a Red Cross for na year I say. They say be a Ghana over say the Red Cross for na year donating with the break Ghana for being who be sad. So our office for Ghana there, I don't know. The name is our office or to be our so I will say Red Cross for our office for Ghana. Please the chat room host and anything be about them. I mean and I tell you winning more on office.
Me who Red Cross. I mean from time I'm BC say we free Ghana no. I never really encountered them, but I'm sure say they had their agents there. And most of these friends NGOs, so they have affiliates. There's an Oxfam, and then Oxfam say they work together with all these other big agencies. It's possible say they can get some of those people to be working on the ground for them. But the thing with NGOs is that because of Mimi business, what it is I do a bit of research on them. Overhead no, almost operating costs they are very high.
Okay.
Maybe as money $100 out of that $100, no, you'll be lucky if maybe even 60% or maybe even 50% gets to those who need it. It's more and more, no. Maybe for say, especially before now you hear someone, no. we have to take it upon ourselves, or diaspora, take it upon ourselves to form groups, okay, and then raise the funds and then do these projects ourselves, because it's not in their interest. Or no Bronina or no Giscania Bruno. It's not in the interest, say, it be before Humbertom. I think it's high time saying it before you will come to that realization, especially in Iowa, Burkina, Providence, Abuayan. It's our cabin. We have to come to terms with the fact, say, king whatsoever, no, it's going to come from us. I mean, it's not in the white man's interest. It's over Kaya and saying the president of Barbados, Mami B, echo, your friend saying.
Before some baby banner, and will be Sunday, a year, man, and some more kind. I was impressed by Obama standing there and criticizing the big powers, say some of the things now moving and grandma what you are doing.
Well, they know, Dada. They know exactly what they are doing. And yes, maybe they don't know what they are doing. They are very much aware of it. But again, no, it is not in their interest to solve the problem. Osha countries now are many boy in Nana. Do either African countries or African diaspora countries. So meanwhile, a global warming do one if we with the West.
Of course, no, we are there. Factories burning over that kind of issues. Now,
I mean, it's a the American say. The idea one of the Benkum Neji. That's what it is. Okay, and anybody who's done any economics or who's done any geography knows to say the strongest continent on the face of this earth, Africa. If you really want to be powerful, no, you have to possess your land. So, say, yeah, dream and call to Africa. And I say, just say, we are always going to look to the West to come and save us. No, the dames you go up one thing. It will continue like that.
I say, you know very well, sir. They're borrowing and borrowing from, because it's kind of like, let's say there be no one by for money. Kelly, no one by woman pro. We hear $20. Now I say baby, now we hear $40. I mean, said that means I owe you.
Because a system almost
yes,
it's something that they've created. A whole point of it is to enslave us. In Kumakai, he said it in the very beginning. Said, if we do not take care of our own affairs in terms of economics, business, and all that stuff, the white man will come back and colonize us. When in neo-colonialism now,
of course.
And in Nkrumahist, Pan-African. Why? Because we know very well, say, that pure form of political rulership or leadership, they are more or less placeholders for the West. The way they talk, the way they behave, they are more European or they are more Western than African.
Of course.
It will be African to say Tanzania, to say Rwanda, now to say Libya, to say even Rollins. What they start doing is they start demonizing you, and then they start supporting people who can help overthrow you.
Of course.
But now you are a dictator. So we gave no mobile.
Yeah. And then I was reading something about say, if an American commit murder in this country now, he's a lone wolf. So he said, let's say Okuku mass people are on your terrorists, but or a lone wolf. So just say, and now say we need and yes, the same thing now. Now he's a criminal because you might deem for because Bruni Koko yes I did not. To them, some of them think say he has done well. He has done a good job by eliminating maybe black people or black men. So, but let's go back to Rollins because you were in the Burma camp, so you had knowledge about a lot about Rollins. like I said, and yet me article will be the bar New York Times more I think somewhere I think 1981 or 1982, somewhere around that area. And I doubt it say that particular I'm say somewhere in 85. The time now he came back to Osambe Kufu ma ultimately overthrew Lima now Samba back. That is when now after a couple of years, now that's when this guy they wrote that article. They made the time you too free New York, too free. I mean, but if I'm looking for it now, there were places go hard and no go hard. They said the very first day Obama winning the elections, for the time, very president. Every newspaper via network I can go downstairs and give it to you because I kept those sets. I kept those things for future reference. Back at the I did normally in a room. And if I want to find those things now, I will just go down there and show it to you. He said, the mayor and silence said, in years to come, that side newspaper article is going to worth something. This newspaper, and I know say we got a better about 20,000. I'll just get because when you say it's going to be something in the future, no, because say like or better because our the name who will be heavy. The signature of sign for one of these baseball players here, or sign the signature. Emma will be on a piece of paper. And that paper was worth more than $50,000. Emma will be toy. Will be autograph, yes. It is you say now you were there now you saw everything that was going on with why don't you share some light on what you saw and some of the things now went on.
Okay. Well, me know you're me 80s, so me 80s baby, but I feel like I get back where boy I'm in the same papa even though he was a soldier, no, from in Colabrium or exposing me to books very early on. And I think Onon Kasapono a middle school leaver.
Okay.
But I think what helped him, they said, no, you're very studious or kind books, like he was very big on reading books. And they bought me. In that vein, there were a lot of things that even though I was a child in the 80s, time that runs by, and I was more like, I was a child. I grew up in Burma Camp, military hospital. And I grew up in Burma Camp. So I was very much in the thick of it. Friends, even 83, sir, he attempted kuno me. But I'm aware of that. What I was saying is that even if you were born in the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s, there's information that if you look for now, find. For instance, there's one particular book, my uncle being a Troy. Book on your friend from Nkrumah to Rollins, the Okano, or use newspapers and other forms of media and compiling everything that happened. Into course is here again in Nkrumah overthrow, how we even attained independence from the 50s all the way, even from the 40s, all the way through to time at Rollins, which was like around 96. He compiled all that story, and it's in that book. If any Ghanaian wants to really know what transpired, Noah, and yet or no take on it, he really much just reported what was happening. Wait me to our book, especially those of us in diaspora, and you can history. Okay, and then what kind of book? That's why we are very, very sincere. Even with Nkrumah overthrow, you can read between the lines who was behind the overthrow of Nkrumah, how it came by, how it happened. It's a very important say. A lot of us are informed about what is transpiring in Ghana. Me personally, I'm very big on Ghana because I've always said, Ghana is like the seed for Africa. A lot of people don't appreciate it when you say that, but Ghana is like the seed for Africa. Nkrumah can be at independence. Or can say our independence is meaningless unless it inspires the total liberation of Africa. And it's, at that point, it's Obenya independence. He was sending a lot of resources to other countries to help liberate them. And yet, even just Africa. Cuba, Echo, Haiti, all these other places. Ghanaian resources went there. Why? Because he had a foresight, said the only way that we can get forward is when we are united, Black people generally. And that mentality is at the core of Mimi business, now be Black Star Revolution and BSCR. It is back to Burma camp at 7. Growing up in Burma camp, I would say, Rawlings is coming, especially the second time. He came with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
He came with good intentions. About 79, and as promised, they handed over power to Liman. Okay? Mm-hmm. And there's another book that Professor Awuno, wrote. I hope Ghanaians will also go and get that book. It will also explain what was happening. Sometimes me will be 80.
Uh-huh.
But I recently read that. And my papa can story in me. And I also heard, growing up in the barracks, I heard some of the stories, how everything was scarce. For instance, the cost organs see a price hikes. Price only a few people are aiding the organ. It was a similar situation back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So accordingly, that is why Rawlings came back in 1981, December 31st. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you had a situation where there was elitism. Elitism, they said, the cost of Ghana, family and friends government, you have a small group of people. They have access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like top fuel. Into the fuel price, it costs 10 times square, and you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very similar situation. And that is how Rawlings came back in 1981. So as of that time, the videos are, they'll call YouTube, the videos are there. Mm-hmm. Infrastructure-wise, Ghana didn't have anything. Okay, we were nowhere to be found as far as where we should be, especially considering what Nkrumah had done. Most of those factories had been left to go to waste. Okay, our road networks were now where starting so see railways or see equine in town, and 83 nearby.
Mm-hmm.
83 in this buy, we all saw what happened. There was famine, people were struggling to even find food to eat and all that. Mm-hmm. So he came with good intentions. And interestingly enough, around that 83, Nakatapore also called tries on Obukuno. You are any Sako de Mo tries on Omukuno. Our Kettle is Sakun. So that situation in there, a dog bite dog.
Dog eat dog.
Yeah, a dog eat dog. So minimal government when us all tries over Batromia. That I want to bet some man over true.
Who was in there? Mayor first.
Okay, so all these things happen. And of course, the High Court judges in some of can say, obviously, Rawlings, as to whether he knows about it or not, I'm not privy to that info. I don't know, so I can't really say. Is it possible he knew about it? Yes, because to me, you are the president of the land, or you're the leader of the land, so the buck stops with you.
Of course.
Okay, so I wouldn't absolve him of that, or I wouldn't indict him on that because I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether he did or not. They executed some people who claimed that they were responsible. As to whether they were genuinely responsible, I don't know. But those excesses, it happened. Mm-hmm. Okay, and those things even happen in democracies. So I won't say he's 100% saint. Okay, but in the end, yes, all those things happen. But if you ask me, your friend saying completely, what did he come with good intentions? I'll say that yes. We said their course for Ghana, in discipline, their course for Ghana, no. That situation would not happen in Rwanda. Mm-hmm. Rwanda is making the progress it's making it's making because of discipline. Mm-hmm. But that would be what say or Rwanda. I can't me say time now more enforce a friend saying COVID. There's a reason why Rwanda had very little COVID issues because it wasn't based on democracy. Time no sooner a case question them no question them at the only no. So it what happened? they force the people to do the right thing. When you say, yeah, before, no.
Just about.
Just about.
And that's about bank account there.
Just about. And it's sad, but just about. And what I mean, say, pure democracy like what we have, no, it will not work in Ghana. It will not work anywhere in Africa. It hasn't, and it's not about to happen. And I'll use a few countries to support my point, which is Singapore. Singapore is one of the richest countries on the face of this earth. It's a very tiny country, smaller than Ghana. They don't have even 50% of the resources we have. Okay? But why are they so successful? Because they are doing the same thing that Nkrumah tried to do. That one-party government, or starting a unitary party government, not the buy, your friends, the UP government for someone here. So UP government, you only MPP forces here.
Oh,
that's fact.
Yeah.
And you're American. Yes, I wasn't born there, but there's again, if you are really willing to know, and when you know the truth and you're willing to speak the truth, what's a better always. So it's almost they brought this system that we have now, and that is why we are where we are. And what they are the ones who are benefiting from the system, to the detriment of every other Ghanaian in the country and beyond. And this situation, the same thing was started in Cote d'Ivoire, Ofe. There are people who will tell you, says, Ofe do they are relatives. Ofe was used, against Burkina Faso, against the Congo. There's a reason here, France, not France, Ofe. Again, you can find all this information for yourself if you are willing to learn and find and understand what is happening. We've gotten to the point where we have to understand, say, we are using a system that will only ensure, say, a few people will continue to have access to everything, and the majority of the people will suffer.
This is true.
Okay? Say, you use a system that say, like Einstein said, it is madness when you keep doing the same thing over and over again when you expect a different result. It won't happen. In that vein, I feel say what Rawlings was trying to do was the right way. And there's a reason why the West, especially the US and your friends in the UK, didn't like Rawlings. Because they knew very well, say, had he succeeded, Ghana would become Ghana would have become an example like what Rwanda is. And I'll say this on authority, say, when Ghana gets our act right, the entire Black Sahara Africa will get their act right. Because all these other countries, they are looking to Ghana. Ghana is so.
Oh, yeah.
I have friends who are Francophone.
Yes.
I have friends who are Nigerians. And I can tell you for a fact, say, they are all looking to Ghana. When Ghana starts doing something right, when we get our act right, and we start, you get even 50% of what Rwanda is, we will be ABC or Africa. Because the infrastructure is there. In terms of schools, we have the best schools. The infrastructure is there. But at the end of the day, that system here, it's not going to help us. It hasn't helped us then. It's not about to help us now. It will continue to enrich a few people. And this is where I plug Nkrumah in. And I'll forever say, it is important, say, we return to that man. We have to go and understand what Nkrumah, Rawlings he was a social democrat. And it's an NDC from a National Democratic Congress. Along the way, they're losing their way. Okay? They are social democrats. Almost to say Benny Sanders. Almost the end say, we are not total democracy, but we are social democrats. So basically, a socialist, they say AC or China, they just say that Nkrumah person or ban. Because Nkrumah was using a system called scientific socialism. That's what he was using. That is what Rwanda is using right now. We are seeing the results. Because at the end of the day, the goal is for the government to ensure that the gap between the rich and the poor becomes lesser and lesser and less. That is the goal. But the system that we have right now, the goal is to enrich a few people, which is why it's elitist. What if say start soon say just go and do your own research, and then understand. Say this is what Rollins was trying to do to begin with. But guess what they did? They forced him to go and do what? Democracy. 92. And from 92 to now, we are all seeing the results.
And well, when you say, your crew know the well, when you say every day be a dear betchy and a young go and more boy and not because always they have different things going on in the country. Because I never qua Ghana intimi me feel say healthy and country indiscipline. So indiscipline let's say we are there na make a choose na we ni jaya won't means won't support me because democracy Ghana feel say democracy bibia maya etese enye no so me bibi na so enye na wokoka you become my number one day enemy because of democracy. So it also more no my cost for Ghana from top to bottom one of those things because indiscipline road accidents cost for Ghana and no my cost for bad things cost for Ghana indiscipline. Because I was just reading about something big a few days ago. Now, that this IGP, I think it's the IGP or something, was telling these people, say, sadly, I'm so honey been na or can say, Ubiko repu Akorabia. Na Ohnebia said that for phone after police inspector now so we dear me offer see on Timomo Modia near 7 refi. This idea and should stop. They say Jai crying. This is one of those things now. I see it me man stop us idea. Opening more at 60 years old, no offer Akora would be 8. Not offer Akorana. Now I made me feel say it's castrate too right away. You don't go prison for the rest of your life. Now you are to papa so and Akorana ya kwada born at 8 years old. A day na Akorani nim na Akorana or ya shamu.
Dada, I have to say Akorani with this 16 crown she's considered or he's considered a minor.
Of course.
So ya kola born who's a and I make her say that whole rule of law. That you see, the thing is this. I did about coming when you say your culture no, you can't correct. So it say there are a lot of people who will say, oh, he's too known. That's the first thing you're going to hear. So it is all try so kind of one. The very people that are going to be the beneficiaries, just because of Nyachumyene, that whole desire to be part of the group and accepted, you best have a kind of credit. A Kromuha, Sakwana 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, 16 years, sometimes even 18 years, they are considered minors, depending on the state in which you are. It is a whole year adult. And even if the child was pretending, because sometimes we say they are acting like adults. That's a you don't do your due diligence and find out if that child is an adult. That's what in the even if that child lied to you, you are still culpable.
Oh, of course. That's your neighborhood. Hey, the new before I don't want to cut you off. The neighborhood. Hey. guy be any akwadaa bi die. According to him, no, it was something akwadaa no na a consensual set.
Consensual.
Yes. Any children. They didn't call jail. Call jail for almost 5 years or something that you releasing. Now, before someone be releasing into our community, they send us letters. On the letters say you release this pedophiles and your friend into our neighborhood. It is a more press one. We didn't say nobody said okay. But I'm starting wondering about, and there was a big protest that building now bedroom. How much I say friends in building association, they decided say they just want to buy this guy out of that neighborhood, just for him to get out of it because they don't want him here because of what they did. Ghana, obi akofa teacher ni akofa, we say teacher ni bi akofa akorebi, onu kwa akofa ebema teacher no akofa ofre say boy no buano won dem student na o de na akofa boy no teacher no de na ko once on the court no one day cobra afei dey I had to say one year say the judge and say boy no can prove his case. What?
Yeah, because let's look at the situation. Enka, sadly, I understand. Say you are guilty until you are innocent until you are found guilty. That's facts. Okay. That situation where if it had happened in Rwanda, in almost say only Democrats, right? There is a democracy. That's what they are saying. But you and I know, say, it is really not a democracy. It's a military junta. There's no doubt about it. But Oye smart. He knows how the West is playing, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. But at the very core of Omo governance now, it is similar to what your friend is saying. Nkrumah was trying to do. You get results faster because we saw all these meanderings in the free. So, that case, yeah, okay. It's a very easy case. But let's see, you who the echo.
Of course.
With the chair or preventing justice from prevailing. And this is what we are talking about. This is why, for me, especially growing up in the barracks, the only people who were upset with Rollins, 9 out of 10 times, they were the Kalabuli people.
Of course.
Some of them are my friends. Some of them, their children are my friends. Almost time Rollins. And again, not on your seat. Were there excesses? Yes. But the cost of Ghana is here. The project to be Ghana. The cost of things just keeps going. It just keeps going up. Why? Because people are hoarding the materials. Ubeko stone, who says cement no repair? I can't just say cement anymore. And that was what was happening back in the day.
And then Rollins will come after you. Come for hoarding. So,
this is how it is. We have to sit up and ask ourselves, say, dear cousin, is it beneficial to everybody? Let me say, Ghana twice this year. I'll tell you, say, now we'll call Ghana and now call Africa now. Essence of no matter what, you are better placed to get things done than Obi Okromo. But Yembisa Yahon say, how are they making it? I think that is where we have to start. And you are all about doing God's work and God's will. No, just ask yourself that question. Say, the system that's in place now, fine. Me and my family, they'll be okay. There's no way I'm maybe besides Kabaka farmer. But some mommy no new Bia Abuchino. How are they taking care of their children?
Mm-hmm.
How is the current system now helping the majority of the people? And now who the drive to Komuno? $1 no. How much did it cost to buy things there when you were there? You have to ask yourself these questions. And I say, Mimi didn't, you know, the Beko go the Nkokona. So basically, you know, fine, my buying the Teso. It or me NDC, so NDC for yeah, then I say Nyekwana.
Of course.
So this is the problem. Timino, those so-called leaders, no, I do not blame them as much as us, especially because there's a reason here. Some more fighting for some more political positions, or more bahal. Because guess where most of the money comes from? Most of the money for funding their friends saying their campaigns and all that. No, if you have. It is our people who are keeping them afloat. It is a deciding way it costs us and I said you won't step up and say, you know what, fine. And yet this so-called NDC MPP idea you who so infasobia. Na me akasa kwa de car ko Ghana sem kwa clear crap no. This is what I'm going through. For once, no, I'm going to stop seeing NDC colors, MPP colors, me ever ni, me akan ni, and I'm going to follow what Nkrumah said. Red, gold, green with a black star in the middle. That's what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, that is what Rawlings was trying to do. But again, the West did not allow him to do it. They started saying all manner of things. And most Ghanaians, because now, guess what happened? We accepted what was being said.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I know Libya will say, Gaddafi cry, not Gaddafi, no, yeah, demon.
Always be there is something we forget. And then they say, would they always be your former girlfriend be an office or your bad? Let's go back.
That day, somewhere,
it will go say, oh, in fact, I didn't grant a jar or bar with me. So, because they be the new one now, no. And yet the same thing. And the gout, what do you want, guys? They say, we're better off.
What are you not for?
Your country, no matter what. There is one thing here Nigerian girl said, which was yesterday. Your friend girl, no, or your blogger to say, but over a Ghana ni into your Ghana, or Yene from Ghana. She was saying certain things to me about Ghana and Nigeria. Or say Nigeria, no, a very difficult say a Yoruba. So a Yoruba guy will go and marry somebody from the north. So what you say? You say a very, very difficult. And an Igbo will never marry, and yes, it will never, but yes, a Igbo will never marry a Yoruba or marry somebody from the north. Because if you try that now, your family members will disown you. True. Nigerians marry, a Yoruba will marry a Yoruba. And a Igbo will marry an Igbo. And there's somebody from the north, which is the Hausa people, will marry somebody from Hausa. They don't intermix. But what she said was this. There's one thing Kwame Nkrumah did. We are benefiting from it from now. So we in America, because Nkrumah wasn't prejudiced against the West. Nkrumah wasn't prejudiced against the North. Nkrumah wasn't. That is why now it makes in the secondary schools, no. Who post secondary school or not for you can go to secondary school in the south. That is, who bet me won't crop for now honey be iron namful. So it you spread the news and say, oh, these people they are not what you think. So and no na benefiting and now no to now today. And the people are not talking about Sadia.
Nada, me chawan. Yeti China. A country of over 1 billion people are able to do what they are doing. It's the same thing that you are seeing right now.
Of course.
So, wait till America say, Ghana is a seed of Africa. Nkrumah knew what he was doing from the very get-go. Nkrumah Yenzimani, Bibiani and Kosone, a power grant, a friends, NLM phone, and Kadoso Omoya Bank one. There's a reason here. The National Liberation Movement, no, headquarters of Kumasi, Ashanti region, didn't like Nkrumah. Because of the same thing that will come. Because that they didn't want that intermingling. But you see, that is what makes Ghana strong. And that's okay, because Benin, because Togo. I stayed in Benin for a month, 1 year, because I'm Benin, French, but because I'm Benin for 1 month. And what you are saying, over Ghana, the homogeneous, a much thicker saying any other country, even in the sub-region. And that is what Nkrumah did.
You see how
some people even told me, some people were given incentives to go to the north for school. Went to school for free, just because they wanted to force you to travel and see Ghana.
Travel. Who wants to say, okay. Who wants to say, you can, and somebody, meaning somebody, or what, or everywhere, or take Bandu. So that's it. Or take Bandu for the main reason is that somebody from everywhere, Eti in Koko, I from a Igbo town. Oh, from a Igbo
town.
Yes. How the hell, sir? Your friend won't free voter region. No one by place one Koko, near from a Igbo town. So if those people know in California don't like them because there is nothing.
Acceptable.
They don't consider themselves the 1 year for, but this is where they are and this is where they live. One better they are free from to do anything. They go into politics. We call Afran place. Afran place. Because they cross the river from there to friends Afran place. Afran place. When you say Rollins Mami, not your Afran place.
Yep.
A horn not.
Yep.
Nobody said anything there because nobody knew said it was Rollins' mother. Before said they found out said she was Rollins' mother. Now was ahead too late because everybody knew her. And then Kasanka was yet Rollins' mother no. And she should have some more enemies than anybody else. So I said, but nobody was able to touch her. She was going up and down, everything for free. So because of what Kwame Nkrumah did, that thing that Kwame Nkrumah did say years ago, hey, me go school, you go boarding school. They need nothing has been a cool school. Yambila, do me kind of power no me mate, This are dear friend, Yambila. Na Utumrika and Obobo. And my classes they were BSc. These are my classmates. There was BSc from Form 1 to Form 4. Every classroom be an BSc. So BSc one was my mate, and 2 of them no, but you're not senior one. I will see a baby senior and now now another just a form 1 or form 2 and about form 3. The airport from 1 and no from 4 and then from 3. Not from 2 in the will be any hope. It's just everybody was a baby say, oh, Yenina school, Yambila, Asantifo, say Bunsu, or say Tutu, or say Sibe, and cry for Ajete, one boarding school on. Now, you can't inquire no one inquire bonnet pa say boarding school. I swear to God, say me, mammy baby, and call boys boarding school. Ghana to say between boys boarding school. Because why? A lot of people don't realize say Akorano so a good boy will fear. A very good boy will fear. Obako boarding school, but no Akora bonnet. Why? Because they say a honey amount training. One thing about school they tell me say, so we are we soft. By the time so first year and be children, now we're near a day. Because so when near your everybody's gonna walk over you.
That's the whole you see. That's the whole point of it. But that would be the Babono call international your call private school. And somewhere along the line was you, Mayina call St. Peter's. Within 1 month, the mama say, "Who difference akwana brabo?"
Who difference?
Almost akwa by. You know that's the whole point. If you throw them in the deep end, it forces them to adjust.
Of course, make school no. They say one say I'm in Canada there, so you say, "My brother Penny and I'm in Canada. I was in Canada." My brother is very cool. My brother is very cool. My brother will not be a giddy. But men, the whole house, no, na me akora na me near den pa. Uti me metu because of boarding school now on them call no. Because you brome to the point to say I have to stand up for myself. So I say I have to because no boarding school we are about bro. That's a obi no be na from 2 ni na or bro. Just recently, who said school be Ghana. Who said one kun boy be? All the sick and also one boy. They killed the boy. Just this week, yeah. They killed the boy. That is how our boarding school net. Because boys need to have one year very mean. But my who see a kun be out school there. But the way now one be see a humo no man one be a chance see a kun. 4 a.m. They call boarding school at the age of 10. Now, boarding school at 4 a.m. in the morning. Not your boy waking bell. That 10-year-old boy, what's a bucket? Baby, I near cool, so there was no light. Can there be any a torchlight? Dark, say, you consume aqua sense you. Now, Uber consume 3 times. Your coffee, your house master, no. A bucket in the tank, a consume in the tank. The aquaco back on my senior, the aquaco direct. As an aquaco back for yourself. Now, dear be direct. It within 4 a.m. No, about the door plot. Open door plot, what could Jerry? What call we no Sunday by 7 o'clock, and that's a walk which in a dining hall because you're 2 more. Yeah, me on what could eat. So, it is what you do, say. Bath there, it was out of the question. Nobody take bath. You are going to be late. It won't be. It is the best thing in say what the tower baboon soon. Now they have power on wako boy a year. The nipa smell pa because 1 week now in so
why ablution?
Yeah. We're so near Dean. So when near Dean or boys school, you will not survive. You will not survive. It's a boarding school. It became something. Boys in a call boarding school. Now, ubia near Dean. Because when near Dean, you will not survive. Mammy Canada, and we say what Basu, so with me, I join it. Yeah, can't, yeah. na ye ka Rollins asem me dey say and then 1 year em say the manura ne 1 year oka baby it na yes so ye ka about Rollins normal yeah and some of the things and I say everything was perfect there but so we mu pa say for today what is going on in the country anytime a Rollins go on and I got time a Rollins go on and because discipline Rollins time there was discipline because we young there young for huncho
yo ye ma ya tiefo ni ya hwefo nyina ma mo nyina akwa ban so e dey ready asibio
me Sunday you say the whole of last week now number CMC 30 something say me who say na drew over 44,000 just
okay.
almost like 5,000 people join became members or likes. Sometimes, I keep saying, and no my probably you are thinking, some people are not listening. They didn't.
Yeah, listen.
It is all of a sudden, this, they heard this week, the number of people are joining. You go Facebook, the people were.
But who said the number to in so platform?
Yeah, numbers. People were liking it and liking it. Yeah, joining.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe what we are doing, but I think what we are doing is working.
Yes. Mijitu Musa.
Yeah.
Mijitu Musa. Yo. Kakra mekanisi ye mo kasa mitie kakra na Rollins ankasa no you say wonya ne baby kwi na enema ni bi wo ho a emese na se no odi ye no ye ne kwaso na mahu si Ghana fo no ehye kiti e wo niema bi a ye obey dan see ye be my freedom to do certain things.
Abadi here.
Aye. Enema ye very simple ana enema bi a uhu si we de ntiase wom na ye nyene sei no na asan besi baby esi ebesi a enema no de bebre wo ye ya so obi se obi aba run say e wo do obi abeka about ono onyame fa ne kra nsie baby bia wo bia no nyame emfa ne kra nsie oyo papa wo boni o ni de o hosoro no na ekudi na asem onyame fa ne kra nsie na de na ewo mu a meme niema bi wo ha meme hu ya na enye ne kwa sa kokoo ya yekoso aye ne mfa so bi eni so kokoo nso na yekoso aye no school for no particular in those days ma boys ni bebre eho na boys ni bebre kosua niema bi a for example to say we no me kan kwachire nyama me aku nana yawi or you start so akoko ayi na we ebam that was the end of the story ebesi sa time ya went to me anye no well enema ni bi wo ho a oye ya I think say ma usrobi ni niema kakra bae you were talking about boarding school. Boarding school ni niema ye kohu kakra no de ebi wo ho a mia meka se your friend is saying o betra ha akire no na uhu say ya fa niema mu but share ye den de say no metimi aka say obi a at least uko boarding school bia wa ba niema bebre wo ho a umpe kasakra obetimi aye because ashe odin we adwuma we just say it's there you have to do it anya ebe homo especially wako for to say me say bra kwa me okase ukonso it's true even me call training college kra obri anapa hope awo e wo ho no eti say esunu say abitifia wo anapa ukonso na nso na efre ni Jamaica ye school na ma nti me time no de ni ye konso no Jamaica na Jamaica no utwa lolo kwa mu na wako nsuo wa sane bepo na abo wo ekwan ni mu na musumo na akohye chalewete wo beti ahwe no wasan akose nsuo ne foforo enti Jamaica nsuo no mesi obi okwa aburi bia na aburi secondary school and training college a wotie mi bia na obeka no kware from 83 to 86 na ade wokɔ sɛ nsuo no bi ama senior prefect wo sɛ nsuo no bi akɔ kitchen ɛno na ɔde no aduane me time no nsuo no mma me fi wɔ akyire no na ɛsɛ ebinom de bae wo san kɔ bi ama wei sɛ wo senior house mistress bi na ne nsuo nya yi a yasan ayɛ na wasan wasɛ bi asi hɔ ɛne yɛ nyinaa wo sɛ kakra bi na wo de agu hɔ na wo de deto agum because wo pɛ sɛ obi abɛfa no ɛhyɛ yɛn den ma yɛba abɔnten no nnwuma bi wɔ hɔ a ne yɛyɛ a mimi se na anyama ni hada adɔ a medɔ bi kukuru a me so na mepɛ sports nti kyɛ sɛ every but menim sese wɔn na adeɛ baako a up to now de bia meka ho asɛ menim half a wɔn education system no ɛtie sese ɛwɔ hɔ ɔmo school no yɛ den so ho ɛhɔ a mekɔyɛ 3-year post say na nka ɛsɛ sɛ ɛyɛ baabi a ɛyɛ degree nti na wo ba baabi a but ɛsɛ sɛ wo ni ni nti wo ba ɛsɛ wo san kɔ school ansa na wo degree kono ɛna wo ayɛ na mate sese deɛ ɔno yɛ most of the courses na ɔne no ɔne yɛ ne degree a ɛno ɛbɛboa so ɛna ahanso me ba me hu sɛ wo kɔ school a sɛbɛ wo kɔ nyinaa assignment a yɛde ma wo we yɛde ma wo no yɛde wo marks to hɔ o attendance yɛde we to hɔ kyɛ sɛ ɔne ɛnyɛ too hard. I'm not saying ɛnyɛ hard sɛ wonya yi ɛyɛ hard somewhere snowball ɛtɔ na wo form ne deɛ keka ho a but in terms of ɛboa yɛn so Ghana meka in those days woyɛ O level book a wohwehwɛ no koraa no wobɛkɔ library hɔ na nipa a di wɔn din ato so no 2 weeks ɛsɛ wo return the book no wonya bibiem so the system na only use wɔ hɔ no mentimi nka ntra radio so nka sɛ ɛyɛ menim system a ɔno nti madesua wɔ Ghana no ɛyɛ very tough so and secondly so only yɛ more academics leaving the placement in the practical adeɛ no so and then that be near kano so be electrician na si wasua bibi aba a obesua book mu de na but ne say or the better to so aye practical not enough into oba bontin a onim nwoma na ye wo ho ne de but onim few people only to me yes sir so nti sanyema we nyina no emma adesua wɔ Ghana no very tough very tough nyama kekan bia ni hɔ a minim sisese no on ya and I say no na I think but I don't know maybe one day we'll find a way and na say idea only the government should think 21st century the global world nyina no nti say ye bibia ebeboa and no say universities be aba Ghana on how the quality nyema on kire and global business na and I say how it is I don't know and as say on hwe ye nyema bi a sebe ehun beba menkase mfaso ne so mfaso wo so but only making sure say on betimi me ha uba wie na okwa at least usakoye assessment course na okoye no ona research who say okay we yes our course we about 85% enya your friend say part-time job within 2 years about 95 will get a full-time so until only no they no say only kong and him say how we say and now we say so if I don't know say horse na we go your friend say your money back because warrior one beside say we university no or say we and manya juma and I'm so there now so journalism na beside say na I know say so the anka osima it's not easy that easy sir my year degree na we 4 year baby kura na me say me koye me masters but me nya dwuma whom so enema we no nyina no ye produce nkwala ne adwuma a one yi but the work na say so on nya onya Oh, me momo de your friend is saying near you or more. There be an American, it is almost some crummy. President bi ba na de bi obeye na ye okay a de wa ba no peto chese ya na hu hia nti niam na ye ma ye dikanfo na atwam on ye egia ho a ye hu se ye mfaso ho no they can bring it back and as in yes across they can revisit so ho no hwe no ni bi no ni fa bi so nhyem se na bebo ho nyina in fact o hwe Ghana population na I think say ye youth more actually most of the African countries. There was a time me research kakra. So which is say who kura mambunu edoso a who kura mambunu edoso but they should be aware say a school money kwa only benya so adwuma they should allow ma onya the practical hands-on found sana what you assume the book no ye ne practical nti wo ba bonti na wo hwehwe adwuma enye den nti kakra metimi aka for now
we bra me be ko polytechnic no na se me ko me ma me ho na me fi secondary school na ko polytechnic technical school say me ma me wasn't pleased cry say me ko technical school na enkrofo ko secondary school na kwa koye ebi kwa koye doctors na besides say technical school no say me ko technical school me koye mechanic fit adwuma na me kwa koye me say edu ko school no me say secondary school obi say me normal e school number one electrician ho enye bricklayers ko e breacher iti yes mu ha onye adwuma bi anya si breacher and I'm say carpentry and joinery carpenter for de wo ko ayi first ho a wo bebre wo ho ko carpenter for wo carpenter adwuma say the fact is say onim
yeah
so no carpentry no wasn't bibiana odbia e fan say say and carpenter unya because carpenter order so a big money
I have to say so see for instance a plumber should come to your or my fix idea or hammer car no 2 year crowd ba of you no charge answer that the could crowd wa ba so your friend is saying June by mine ono we no call technical school or call ye fridge ni yibi
AC
sika na kola na eje no ona ne yakoto dan so wo kura wo ko se wa ko university ho ahụ no kura no unye enti no eye nim no ni nim so so oni nim niema no nti ase a betimi aye vocational school
say me back room no
otu asokura ka ba na ono ka o ye one of the millionaires
me a building so but not my person na me koye automotive engineering ewo polytechnic ba me ko ho no na auto no ayema tese na aye fu edi man bia na owo ho no ofi abetifi no ye building eno say adentina main branch in konkoye building na menenye ho menenye many ji automotive engineering ne ho pa because boys na no wo ho no won't me assemble cars it me like something like speech and prize giving days no boys need to meet to car no one start build a car no it me school in na I was when they say we won't family ho but always be na ayema the next say me here but we are building as building and just one course now you obey brickwork which is mason. Obey P&D, painting and decoration. Obey carpentry, C&J, carpentry and joinery. No, I plumbing. So now I say draftsman. And I bet me like estimator. So bet me who the cost of a building. You have to learn all those things. I mean, for the first 2 years, I think I was a twice. And I mean, choose one. I think I decided what I want to do. And I'm the bar. Then I made the tram, and can make a plumbing.
Okay.
It was not guy beer, no, film called Prime Ramsey. So,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
what's happening in the call, Polly?
I mean, so in the quiet parents in minimum.
Not Prime Ramsey, a plumbing. It is terminal air plumbing, not catch them say. Maybe may plumbing, because plumbing is very good. And the pan so no, madam for. Madam for. For the pan when you see me there, but no, like my if you go on into no. Now, Menene a very close. Your mark on us are really mean in the factory nearby. It no catch them, the many plumbing. But then plumbing will many so until say, we near visa. Yes, I can correct plumbing.
Well, yeah, all for 80 if you Ghana, any baby, muntie ni ye. A drew baby, a man, a school more, only coach you on the subject is minimum and a macabe, minimum sentence on the system. A high baby a year, grade 12, before no, from grade 9, a counselor, so nti counselor guidance counselor na wo no wo subjects na wo ye ne ayi nyina o access to ayi nti do final ayi na wo be choose ayi na wa walk you through so obi sise na dia say yen yeti we yen ni French ya ho ono no me dey na iko dey care no group ayi dey care ma me na me dey call ho no o ye ne nkwala 5 no Italian o ka no ka Italian it say obi aye wo no nti okoye French na nyame ho e no san ye art kan o dem brother do san ba bibi no obehu say o draw nti o frame one time no say nti we da so go so draw na yina na me say na me say yeah oko 5 years okoye ni French ni wie no okoye diploma e ka ho o 2 ayi so oye na djuma oye ne o chira French secondary school na ye kono na ye friend say no papa kra na ne ko ye no okukohu garden ayi no na o chira ne say aha na kwala ni gina language oye very good into no or recommend university e wo ayi ne papa so you ti ho no say we no de French so mentality I was French so they say Canada had 2 your friends saying languages near you so we French we ayi nti yeah no or start here we school could you believe so we the passport mo Europe any other places I work on maybe apart from a few places I'm called the whole world the passport two say they onya say dwuma no na ya kwantu bebre nti wajai nti ochira dey old school say so onya access at otibi nkrofo bi koto onene because on language no onone yeyi so nti no awofo amutie ye me kan nyina ne say mo man do bria only choose one subject me pass so entre ho nka say ni teacher na nko a yen play role active role nko bisa enya daji nko bisa ne me ba na owie school we ya edien ene dien ene betimi aboa na amana nya dwuma so ebisa sa na ma we nyina eye na se wonko bisa mu na wo de wuti ebia obetimi da ase ma fama ma yi akita oba ni wie school a adwuma wo ye ne bi wan so nti na wo for no so only pay a very on nti say in those days ye ma me no time na yeti so ko school na che se no ano no se wo ye den eniema mienu me kai me papa o say wan ko nurse na ko teacher na unu no nyina teacher fo no
Ope teacher bidi. Na ayeba
na
ni
me
say
kai sa time no na ai kana o say usu say ni nua kana o say usu ana o ye nti one time me we from 5 me ko boa store me ti me call ya na your friend is saying kana o say usu betwa mu akokuma ase ana o see na o say kwabna obisa me esi ma we form 5 na me see ya na o say dia na mpese me ye na me kan o so papa ya we me so omisa me kra say dia na me pese me ye after O level papa yi so me papa mu otutu bi ma na pa na o say hwe o de otie ye ma oba ko school a o ma woni nye embisa ne say de obeye ebi ni o lack of ayi nti na awofo a mo tie ye kasa na mo so mo fa mu aba so ho enkase minim ngoma enkase mini adaje enkase wodi ono anim nti no ye nya no da bi you have to be involved ye ma ya nyame ya adom a ye bepie mu ha nkwala we ni mo no you have to be involved untimi ntra ho because utra ho so a enema sei ye ba ha mfiti ase no parents ni bi wo ho a ye mo ndin won amfa won man education anya hwe just because ono fo so wan kwa nura hinti e wo be kwa fine wo nko so anu wajao no ni namu no na mofra no so a parents ni play big role e wo mofra no life mu they were all I can say majority of them are minimum they were all successful so nti no obi a wutie ye baby bia wa wo ba o school bisa be involved in case utie school fees ni wi a ne no ano no office school aba no okwa no adesua net sen edien na ye din wo muma wo yeah, now these are some a shame of running crying, and I can say, yeah, free in those days, but you know, in Granchano, few mothers and fathers now on Basho crying, Marco, because of course, see, school you be especially call for one good school be over be sana ye on my brain, and ɛna sɛbe ɛnyɛ obiara so ɛna n'adwene no da hɔ sɛ obetumi asua nwoma ɛsɛ no adwuma a yɛka ho asɛm yi ɛyɛ very good aha Canada ha yi wɔn a yɛ nsɛ wɔn adwuma no sika a wɔn gye ɛkoraa no ɛnyɛ yi ɛna mɛka na plumber obi bi asɛe no afre plumber eso omra mehwe car na otu di ba ofie no no be charge na hourly bia no e wo se ne o charge nti say ade e obedi 2-3 hours 4 hours can you imagine say $60 $50 $80 calculate by 4 times by 3 so nti no ne America ne say enya disua ne nko a nse wonu adwuma nso wo ho nse wonu adwuma nso boa eboa bebre eboa ewom adepam etreye carpentry de kika ni nyina nti hwe ba bi abofra no interest ewo na parents ni bi won so a oni hye mofra no just because e bi ani nua pani bi akoye doctor anase wakoye nti no opese ni nua ketwa no so follow which is esono bia ni ti so unless say interest ni no wo so e bia ni o me papa was say one koye nurse obekwa kodi teacher whatever no for say nyuma na aka ni nyina fa so ni bia so but it shouldn't be baby abofra ni interest wo ho na wo so bo ano amana nya ne disua no mo afi se ne daache o meye burden can you imagine say wo tue school fees bebre na wo ofe wo wie no nya adwuma ne isi ya bejini ni momdie meme time de na your friend is saying o suppose sika e de ma o ko school na bi ni ho nti direct from parent want to fees na you are not coming na say the only way bi wo ho a o ko sika na the only say interest na e wo soro emu bia no ne America ne say hwehwe abofra ne interest baby a ne modern bo gina bisa no questions hwehwe na teacher for so ni won nkasa say phone enye na nti wotimi nya teacher for no headmaster for adeɛ baako a bɛpɛ sɛ mekyerɛ yɛ awofoɔ no sɛ yɛawofoɔ bi a wɔn ani wɔ ɔma ɛkɔ school ho no ebisa mmɔfra n'ase ebisa teacherfoɔ n'ase no mmɔfra no yɛ biribi a they are very careful. Because time another you all grade 12 or so maybe another school one na you feel so one walking distance the book me for work obi who see me man no catch and say I saw your mom into ever know say why were you in the school? I don't understand. And I'm saying no, I wasn't in the school, but it would have me walk just without even appointment. Nimako bisa say so far now how or also we don't have a problem or an assignment way. So nti me sha wofo ne nkran ese monye bi na betimi aboa ama ye mofra no anya ba bi agina nti kakra me so meka de asi ha no
we maame bi a oye head mistress wo Ghana school be one of those nursing school we a fit corona ade ne was corona and no say just last week na or my speech be and all can say parents no ya na won ede won ma eba school ho no I quiet to say parents in the choose like
school ni ma won
miss school no na ma maybe your parents no say or say ma maybe say ne ba the inti o ma ne ba school no say because ohun nurse bi na nurse na ta de ye na ye ne fe the kinchi I said the ekokoye nurse na ma me teacher no was saying say the ekoso wo Ghana nurses na ebubu fu nkrofo ni nyina yemfa esubo no emo parents because parents bi o ha oba no wo misa ne say akosia e die na opese wo ye e wo life ne bi akwara na ka say e bi na pese me kosua de pam ana me pese me ko di teacher no wo misa akwara na akosia wo de so ko ye nurse de onye bibia so ko ye nurse akwara na ne kuma ni nurse mu on pep moja ho adwuma bi akoye
ma me ntwa wa no wa ha sei ye ba Canada first no na parents ni bebre sa mistakes no instead say on baby sa mofra no say ebia after we no dia na opese wo ye ni ayi no the idea the your mindset from back home no was still attached with us as or prefer to bofra no nye USA and edu baby no mofra no bi wo ho a edu baby nkwana no baby wo ho a oni ko school edu in the middle of no ngajai. Honestly, we don't like the program that we are doing because it was my mom, it was my father, it was this, just because. So, until a mom of friendly business, side 4 years, any see a crime because me and Sembi or minimum 2 of them, all my minimum nurses. So, until they were trying to say more franum car nursing and what to say I can't want some. Abofra do second year pen or drop here. Or see me, I'm not interested because it was my mom. First of all, anything I make offer, say I'm going to go for what the EMEA makes me. Not that I wasn't good at the nursing, but it's not something that I enjoy doing it. And I hate to tell you, say, by the time I graduate, I may not even go for it because I hate the job. Until do middle of a second year in Ujai. Until the old canon, yes, Nanka, I will phone a wolf, Bria, assessing ka on so no only see an yama baby. Titiniamano, amoye. Oh, until Mamma Mofranos when you say, Wahoo, I have Mofrano, a son say, they are part of a colawe or be challenge you. Found sending papa and mamma no, or be challenge you. Or baby says, are you the one who is going to study or go for this course? We say no. Or say then why are you bothering me? Or be catch point blank. If you soon about frock away because more dear. They have on say because you're training you and American and can hope we think all the secondary schools here of you and I'm making you. I don't know. They should have guidance counselors in the school so that the students will come and talk to them. And the parents also will talk to them. Like I said, I've been away Ghana honor how many years? Inti minim sending on the system in inti and I think say no, we have to use them. As I see in young fast in all ebisu ni they have to, because I can tell you akwalano or say I say ofi school no or timi kasa or ko guidance counselor ne ho or timi no kokasa or see this one I'm doing this but my parents are telling me this and this so and you know they voice their opinion. If you know no they don't get that opportunity to talk to them. It's like say papa kokase kodi soja kokasha say no, you have to go. So you can't say no, but that is not okay. I see allow mofrano so to make their own decision. Yeah, oh dear, mobile and some mobile guide on. So and in America, if you don't know anything, crana, see your guidance counselors in the school, we can talk to them. Go there. Parents do any nim on teachers are or your children manade. Neil. Oh, and you got this time on phone and whatever, and get to know the teachers who are teaching your kids. Get to know them. Be someone say and not say, get to know them. In those days, that opportunity nibi. And to say like I'm saying, the world in a global. And to say more friendly bibi so I say only ye bibia, they will get any ebe so on the on be uko school and once you worry book ni baba sa from whatever when you go you chew and pour and go write it down. That's what we were doing in my time. That wasn't helpful. How school kakra we quiz near the mass at all. We way now by the time now we whatever and now that class oh bibi wo ha push you ntu sua kakra ka ho pa no and yi ba ko America bi mu say the hands-on ntu wo sua only book no nko a if you ukosua book no na practical wanya emfaso ni eno na ebo yen crofo no form bebre no nti I hope we say in the 21st century things will change. I know see now no they have some of the programs now in degree for example she say a teacher I think say the 4-year degree now on a year CC instead of your time on a 3-year post secondary so on until now for no play role big role my friend no place a role na ebeboa nye no nko
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. A few minutes. It's options. Options no. So we go school. I can choose to drop out and go into another course because I know when I'm out, the jobs will be there for me to do. So, for instance, it can be back home from a landlord or a principal. I was school can save you in New Jersey. But initially, no school for handiwork. That was what he was doing. Oh no! Later on, this side said he wants to be a teacher. Oh, son called back to school to become a teacher. As he said, "Oh, your home principal." There's opportunity, which is where leadership comes in. Because, for instance, maybe Madame will be a or you're brilliant crossing. That guy has his PhD. Who made you more organ? Or a teller. Or bank.
Bank teller.
Nejuma na person opportunity ni.
Okay.
So this is the problem. So all they have to do is to build factories, just like what China did. All they have to do is build a opportunity so that there will be jobs waiting for the students when they go and do all these vocational courses. They can come in. So more factories are what is stopping BSR from going to make our clothes in Ghana? It's nothing.
But could be a sorry to carry off. I think say Tamale area ho wonga bie school bi wo ho a won factory bi nkwala ne ye practical yibi wo ho. I really like the school because from the classroom they go do whatever, and I'm saying this is something I think say train na do something. I was so happy to see that. So it's not only the book long, go chew and pour and write it. It doesn't make any IBR.
I reviewed an account. Is that Mama Canada? They now can. Will be a carpenter. We press a car. Carpenter we. Hey, we press a car. Piano. That carpenter we. Monthly, when you say be a monthly. So, and it's all because the opportunity is there. So your carpenter, you wanna say it's in the what next? You and I know say be a carpenter school or call a technical vocational school or call. Maybe I was just 18 months. If I decide to go and do my masters, no. So me personally, I've decided not to do my masters because me folks say a fraud. People say a fraud because the extent to which I can progress within my field, no.
And you're great.
And you're great. So I'll rather take entrepreneurial courses. It means I'm starting a business. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
But you can choose to be an entrepreneur. But we all know, say, the funding for whatever ideas you go for ideas for Ghana.
Oh yes. Nancy, I'm maybe who's in for ideas. But how do you get the support to
everything is difficult, which is where governance comes in. Okay. Unfortunately, back home in Africa, you see, our situation is very similar to what you have in Asian countries. Most people don't realize, say, before South Korea became South Korea, they had a governance system similar to what Ghana had under Nkrumah. Singapore, now China, even Japan. So they took their time, built the system which aligns with their indigenous culture. And then China for war. And nothing as you see Rwanda, so the oil. Because the governance system aligns with their culture. It is here, you realize that most of the people that are employed in Rwanda are in the government sector. And they are getting subsidies for housing, they are getting subsidies for education, which is coming from the government sector. It's 5 years from now, they be on the one. Now they will start exporting workers to other parts. Cuba, my cousin, or school Cuba. Got now for 13 years and so on. Cuba exported a ton of, and they still do it to Ghana. Almost the doctors ever Ghana all the time. So, what is stopping Ghana from doing that? Medical field, medical school, Ghana Medical School is one of the best in all of Africa.
Yeah.
What is stopping? But almost here the same. It is intentional. Me de be make say, bro. And no more Ghana for, and no more Africa for. It's intentional. Over University of Ghana Medical School, Omayan is so scarce to say only a few people can get in. It's Muhammad Abbas saying, what did he do? This is not me trying to praise him, but he started a lot of health sciences all across a bit of water region, a bit of other regions,
Yeah.
And they all started graduating medical doctors. That is what you do. So when you have a lot of medical doctors, now you don't have scarcity. If you have a lot of nurses, what do you now have to do? Just build hospitals. Yeah. And then these nurses now be employed by these hospitals.
And even I have for crab employee one.
Exactly.
And that's what the Filipinos are doing. In the Filipino phone nurses, Hona was say only coded nurses because when it does
meaning Dr. Biowaha, only maybe go school. School Democratic Republic.
Okay.
Understand this no baby husband we know has he. Wow. What is stopping Ghana from doing that? They can do these things instead of buying all these your friends saying all these Land Cruisers every 2 years. They can build these schools.
It's so something. Say, I sometimes when I'm trying to make say, why are you spending the money buying Land Cruisers for?
First of all, what's your name? How will be a friend saying,
Congressman then in the talk our man. Congressman be anywhere state in talk our man.
Debbie,
no,
dying.
yes,
No,
yes.
Opposition, we are. You serve your country, you get your benefits, and you're out.
So, Congress in
when you make us say our people politically are ignorant, and I say this very humbly. So in this ignorance, no, even what is old us, no, you need and honorable. That's the reason I'm married, and it's not something difficult. And since there's a friend saying medical tourism. If they decide, say, fine, we are going to make Ghana a medical tourism country. All these countries that are around us now, infrastructure and as good as instead of to go Europe, medical care and income or Ghana. It is possible.
Yeah, possible. They can come.
But
what they say. So instead of me wanting to go and do my masters and do all this, nursing, and I'm going to a friend saying. And then you just turn out that very possible. So, and there are a lot of people who have been trained as nurses who are just sitting there, they don't have jobs. I know some of them.
Right.
Ghana. And
you
starting to apply for a foreign a year. That's what the Philippines. Philippines, mostly nurses never if you. So another point is super. Is saying it is a hospital be attached to a TB hospital or wherever for apart from there's no hospital that I know in Ghana. Definitely. What I'm saying is, school no and several something na now if the country no ye onipa wo na sebe oni ni yakusua ngomo de na oni ni de faso ni so me mo frɛ bi wo fie o journalism or da sutifie na oba kokora de so person ko police na o ku change na no na me say na de nti na wontimi ko police o say ade ba your friend saying by the time na by your friend saying register whatever no be ba no na already not your fairly position in that to get in you got to know somebody and say na waiting in your room for 2 years me money titifie on in your yeah doing it when I'm sure back it is unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, and I say I'm Canada me yes, I'm trying and I say, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to position myself, say, mini, baby. So, the cost it is intentional.
Okay.
So, it is intentional. Why am I saying it's intentional? Okay. And again, so long as our people refuse to understand politics as it is, and understand why Nkrumah was chastised and hated by those in power now, especially Nwa. And until they come to terms to why Nkrumah is what Nkrumah is Nwa. Because we'll continually be ignorant and these people will keep playing as both NDC and MPP. They'll keep playing this back and forth.
At the
end of the day, what they are doing is when people are desperate, you can give them anything and they will thank you for it.
Yeah, anyways.
That is what it is. The people are very strong is because economically, they are empowered.
Yeah.
They have options. My mother said I should do this, but I don't feel like doing this. I'll go and do that. Say, this person went to school, got their masters, but they are working for Elon Musk. And they're right. Why? Because you know a lot of people who didn't graduate. So a Facebook guy, he didn't graduate. But look at him. Why? Because the environment is created in such a way, it enables you to thrive regardless. It means they may say, Uber Kromu Hapana, if you don't make it in this country, now or Kata, now the
it drove in the
because the environment is built in such a way, say, even with COVID, look at the subsidies that now almost citizens know with the COVID. It's all we have to say is, first things first, our people have to be enlightened politically. Yeah, I could PhD. I could even JSS Krana say, oh, that foresight, you're able to read and think critically. No, that's another thing. Critical thinking. It should be like a foundational course or JSS.
Mm-hmm.
How you think critically about things instead of this belief thingy. How you can sit down, analyze a situation, and then come to a conclusion on your own. I had also a trend. To be a school only PhD cry. Still, I didn't it.
The way I not woman Casano let me say no okay my say parents always want to live their life through their children because let's say if you now akorani film no one you know doctors into akorano just say we medicine at all costs, whether you like it or not, because papa a doctor, mommy a doctor, a doctor, doctors, certain also query. Maybe our current medicine. If you are medicine, no bar, to make or so bar. At the end of the day, if you walk on hospital, who are when we are going to bet you about Panini because I don't know the Brian and Nino. Saa na person kyerɛ sɛ ɔse nurses na ɛba school mu hɔ no ɔn bɛsua ɔn ba nurse no ebi kita wɔn atwa ɔn ba school mu hɔ no kyerɛ sɛ wɔn mu hunu so eti obisa sɛ test na wɔn yɛ a wɔn de twitwa ne ho a na wɔn de ba school no maybe somebody did the testing for them ana she talked to Pa for a long time when they who said video now. I'll post it on It did person may in Nipa Bibre at TSA say, don't live your way you need through your child. Makorana Kasamo undecided at the Kodia or person bear. And yes, I will not be dictated to a Korana say, hey, if he a doctor be any who say, and he has a one acquire doctor. Maybe an acquire girl person a carpenter. And our person debate. And our person did we say, your person yen so yes, I will not obey what you has to do. The parents now mo hihye mo man and I always be an akwara person ma osofo no man no kra o kan say we say a man bebre wo ho a they push their children into the wrong people for marriage. Oh akosia papa we dey oyo na we dey we nisika wo we ntimi hwe e bi so no na ko betu ahwe akwara no no push according to somebody I would say who says there's a stupid person be na akora akora it enche na ware na den egu ana enche obohu na papa na koku akora no na oba na so akun we na we akun that's what is going on in the country because our no bia oba no kra on power no but parents no na pushing it to that particular person. Eti okasai pa che awofo se he no ma mo ye no sa a friend say mental health na wo aba Ghana bebre ni o see a majority of them every awofo no he na akojo unia mu nyina enya adwuma na wotifie unya adwuma untimi kopa adwuma ma ye na wonya sei na we no ye na ese one ayi woman bi emsese bi a wote ya ese papa man bi wo emse kumase ne ba ne first girl no just wo ma but the ban ba ku yo pani no ba ku no ware na de odi akire no akọ ware just one ware but only be called twins, two boys. And a papa no, and then and I worry, and I will a crown of our worry wow, me no. Hey, wouldn't you say, mamma, ye? Or cotor docno, and or de ebehunoye, docno, and or de rat poison, a goon. And Quarane by no, which is the twins no de in
I'm a
because Papa no was putting pressure on him, on her. Why would you say on we and I don't worry anything? Just a wolf for soon as a change on go. It will call up for maybe an answer and the neighbor fear. And I don't know when Nibagiana. What would you I if you will say there's a papa no grand catching it to be. There's answer one no come out, they poison and come out wanting, yeah, ain't me, ain't you know. And a baby here say, but why would you see if you are person or woman say, yes, if you are on your ready so worry.
My main crow, you can cry, how many say, no, nothing, none of the Acosia are so for so. Sa, and also acquire another issue or the Acosia so for so.
So, this I don't says about for home by a man as will be.
No. I mean, who gonna won't hear mobile. Yeah.
Me, I never beside this question. Yangupon wabre pa because
that make us say the extent of suffering before it go through no, it's unnecessary. Yes, stress there's pressure, there's no doubt about it. And do one also I think say pressure and don't pressure in my own.
Of course.
So Ubana said if you live within your means and you do what you're supposed to do, Ubana said ube school, ube also here and say man also be ube okay. But pressure will feel say ube sa we ba ekwani ni ho. So aha no Ubana say o high school crap no a edwuma wo homa. By hono who high school it's still who you just unya. Ebi na make us obi a PhD crap oni edwuma obey. Now obey the other also here.
Non-employment graduate association.
So how will you edwuma crap na say why edwuma pay? Who you unemployment? Who you one ever more employment for Ghana? Obi am. So it's pressure no wo and a lot of people, their family members are pushing them, especially in man, into sad relationships because they perceive, and I know somebody who's going through it, so I know personally somebody who's going through it. They perceive, say, maybe papa no, but the same but still, anya obe secure economically. That is the mentality.
Yeah.
So, that is the point. You can't force it. Yeah,
you can't force it. What's that? Meanwhile, when I'm dealing with something, again, it's all about you want to be critical about a thing, right? You want to discuss it as it is. So, Sisiano, I spend a lot of time with people who are in that situation because of BSRNT. And the system has been made in such a way, say, the system is eating its children alive. So it is eating its children alive at the behest of the politicians, at the behest of the men of God, at the behest of the so-called leaders in society. So that is what it is. The system is not helping the people.
So how can we turn the system around? Because of that, their mindset is so hard to make some changes. The mentality.
There's so much desperation. Does that make us say? It will bring me back to the main topic today, which is Rollins and how he handled things. Okay. It will bring me back to that topic, and I'll tell you, say, he was actually on the right path. Were there excesses? Yes, there were excesses. There were certain things I'm sure, or non quite sense or dream one. Both okay, fine. I could have done this a little better. I could have done a little better. But we have to understand as Africans and say, we have certain there are certain forces and powers that are against us that are evil. They are principalities, which is the West. Okay, so until say yang, we the black people will come to terms with our situation and understand, say, we cannot continue to think about, oh, maybe I'm doing my thing. I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about my political party. I'm thinking about my tribe. No, eventually, we will be nothing. We're already on the path to it. We're on the last straw. It's no on to say a best start a bad dreams, and especially in diaspora, we don't have a chance. So we really don't, because the system has to change. Which is why I've fixed the country for you. The more year, no. Don't want to say fix what? Fix yourself. No. It is actually the wrong position to take. Because the system has to change. And for the system to change, the constitution has to change. Well, we have to demand that the kind of leadership that we have. Nancy Amitiha, Pamabako, who I still have a lot of respect for. Because time now me a Catholic still, no. He was the bishop at Cathedral, at Salam Down. I still have tremendous respect for the man. But you're kind of saying about people should still support the building of the cathedral. How does that help anybody? How many people are being employed by the building of that cathedral? Almost as a cathedral, how many people is it going to employ?
See, Nkramophobia, you want us or into one in your cathedral, then it's going to be a problem.
So why? Well, it's an American say something has to change. Wait, and only a drain or a drain is you have a cathedral in Accra. Me call Ghana September year. Me call sorry now. The cathedral was not full.
Yeah. What the moon last night you can't sadly we say let me come in because I'm say the time not also. And just a couple of days ago, but Methodists, I can't say me about British before Methodists before when you about LGBTQ, I can say, look, go to London, also called London, sorry. Now, sorry, no, sorry, can see between a friendly probably 1,000, and there were about 20 people in the church. And one year and some was a seminar walk because Mokra won't mean any nipa mon sorry. Now, what is answer movie about BDA? Anyway, yam say the time, as soon. More muti in Yadamunina say, next week, so no, a bet was na discussions because you see the who say any pay TA empire numbers na course pa the damunina swasi na ebema Kelly BSR na wa my yikakra na fe ya kasa kantin bi anti Canada na me Canada zo kakra na fe ya wie Kelly Kelly kra me hu we ya me hu post no your Facebook no so you are doing a good job I do agree. Me no like you said I am not in a rush to do so would be said I just my time because I have all the tools to do everything but I'm just taking my time. Maybe I take my time to do everything step by step. I don't rush because if I rush now I make mistakes. So me put 2 million in one step and step until say I'll be very comfortable because my job now I'm trying to sell it and then do this one on a full-time basis. Or maybe I will send everything back to Ghana. Maybe I will do that. But everything is here. I am whatever that you feel say you want to do. And first embroidery, Oh, send on the machine.
Any problem? We'll keep it in the family. It's so munima Professor Saka or ye bibia say so when you like catch up so Professor it will print whatever it is you want to do. But why? Very soon, some of the things you'll be wearing from BSR will be produced by Professor Saka. Why? The jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Yeah, we trust that. You remember say, "Hey, now idea now person you will be as what to talk machine."
Nso bibia mu a ekọ nani mu ana samba.
The BS oko basement ha. Exercise machines. What's that? Honey, hata normal. Or say, if you
machine doesn't see her.
A treadmill.
Yeah, treadmill no.
Oh, they no cry. They say, no, you're dead. They are cut off from rubbish.
Oh, okay.
Or say, no, dear, man, I am not allowed to buy any exercise machine. Beer left help you. It is a exercise machines in India. I am out. Mean to me, because they've got to be see her. Hey, and the first 3 months. Hey, and the mayor,
I'm a bit flat.
I know one, you know it. That's one way. I feel not there. It is a say, Bram is been to be a mesh heavy, 18 print. Anyway, Kelly, sorry, because me offer because they be our chain
or trying to get your school date, Your friend saying, it's pretty much Black Star Revolution, BSR bizarre, Black Star Revolution. Now, a movement, form is say. We want to use that to unite and emancipate Africans and African diaspora. This is abuche any but African Americans Brazil just bibinia abuche any mainland continent, this Africa. We want to bridge the gap so we ensure exchange of information. Okay, and then business, let's say. We've identified certain industries. The first one I hear Tadie. They said they hoodie, any joggers, t-shirts. To pretty much, you turn near you 20% of the profits near near the social impact projects of Africa. And one another that I can't want to because Ghana say and twaso. It is pretty much they can't say maybe I mentor Nike, mentor Adidas, mentor any other. Still buy those ones. But if you decide, say 20% of your purchases, no better interview from someone like me brand here. Wouldn't say we have the assurance that 20% of the profits will go back to help somebody in Africa. And you're Ghana Kwan. We're getting ready to also fund a project in Cameroon. Because this is an African thing. Because they can't say bedroom in terms of one country, Sana China for penal. Sana US for penal. We as Black people have to come together, work together, and then emancipate ourselves. Because we have to save ourselves. And the way to do it, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, is through a platform like Black Star Revolution.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. BSR, so YouTube, most of his or pursue yana eba vital BSR and no my effect and then sometimes messed as I say they should be. Yeah,
I was saying my mom will be quiet one day BSR show now sponsored by BSR. Mama, who's that?
Yeah.
When I am a KPN for a best and come on now. Me lazy.
Na see that dia o cause what the nyina brain up to now.
Mayo and just say
oh boy.
Mama Canada I'm say me try that.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah, that one I agree.
My lazy say and yes I'm printing you. Me printing in t-shirts and caps and then I said by a member package and then get a post office. And then post office, yeah. My post office once because I'm not lying. That makes me in the line.
Yeah, no, it's
the packaging in a gum one day no was this a good can.
I say me any UPS me UPS for dear friends FedEx for packages be on ba fa wo fie.
Right.
The mayor and say me FedEx for line me package again na on ba fa. So inside say me post office. Enti me yen say me na make say I mean me bibia in a rush but me to me boss na my na obia na buy some the command me di ni na command that must start because by this year now by this year na be na ejuma no year na jai na my media no part time radio anyway see no because say no a drew point bi o ha me sora no pa make say me no obia ya ka me pekwa say no obia say because the way I be bu afu no say me sora fit pa na so me sora me bu afu the point and na me get bi kasa wo Ghana madam for yeah my friend na or sickle cells it yeah na me na din komo all the time my friend na me na din komo said I just want to encourage her say who's the sickle cells no yeah man need to be a phone like to anti na me say me encourage you and then this week na so why you okay and my friend na me na din komo and I me catch so me back Ghana na ba like that one no yeah I say okay now yeah think no can say like as a man I'm making about say procrastination say always be you
I'm really home.
you say more catch him say or time or yare and who say you have to have time for yourself. You have to.
But sorry.
What's it?
But me Johnny Kakra.
Oh, okay. Say you do you make us away? All right. It's a time, one you have to have time for yourself. So we need time for yourself now. Running all the time, and I will you wait, now we wait, now you with him. At the end of the day, no. Do baby no. Now if you wouldn't mean you be there. The way you know, where's he dying? Who are dying on one over before? Be our man class, I don't will see one tremuda. One won't come correct by no see him. They would not owe the dynamobile. Obiafa. Obra obre in could see Saturday in a cigar and you'll be there, Obiafa. So, the man you'll be no Ghana so Cocotra Ghana. Obi ready so Cocotra Ghana. So, and I just a walk no teacher on how the one of Ghana. Because one won't go. When you're ready, so the say why really now why yet the war who better the war who better yet the amount for better. At the end time at a friend is saying Tom Jr. my now messages in something who sent me get also Tom Jr. Everybody said Mamma Canada winning you didn't call a petition or Kahuni. Yeah, quite a petition. Eti munyina motion then the munyina ase the following week so e be san ye bio ti ma Canada my closing na fe or ayi odi asa hene
And only the record Ghana record no. Oh, ya tifo ya damasi biom ya damasi bebre se mutie yen na mo hwen baby bia na ye kasa ne nyina no nso no na minim gidi ewu mu se mu fo emu aba ne bi ni se ne ye asese mu de bebo abrabo no ne ye asese mu be kire ye mofra no ne ye asese mu ankasa no nso no mu de be bo amankasa ho no ni nyina ehu hia mu nkoso ntie da na mutie nso a yenim se mu benya ade papa afi saa program ya ye mu benya ade papa afiri mu aya mu nkire mu na fofo nso no no so tune in na oni tie bi pass it on to your friends and your friends to others na ye nyina emom se ne be ya ebetimi ama hoto ene ne ehwehwe na nyame so ahira onyankopon wo ho no de bia wo kan o sinsa anya adwuma na nedi nokware nti no so wo ye bibia yes nyame wo ho ono ne yeda no da bia na so ya na wadwen o ma yenyansa o ma enema bebre a se one trance anhwehwe nneema bi wa brabo no mu a kwa wie a ebeye tough ti eda mu nyina ase esre nyame banbo na otwe yesi mu yi edi fi ekoba nyina onhwe so na otwe se o san de ye ba aseda ne beba no nti eda mu nyina ase.
Amen. It is a juicy Nasamanti and can be next week, Saturday, Sunday. Na Masai Abequai.